Chris Taylor signs with the Angels. How did his first game go? The Dodgers add a pitcher. We got 10 big Dodgers takeaways right now. What they really should do with Michael Conforto, Max Muncy's defensive issues. Oh, and more details on Shohei Ohtani's first time facing hitters since 2023. All that more coming up next on a jam-packed episode of Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, ready to parade. We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock. Mookie Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you're new to the channel, do us a huge favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button if you really want to support the channel. Also, join the Discord, join the Big Lead, getting close to Luka Doncic jersey giveaway over on the Big Lead. Lots of stuff going on. And of course, I always ask you guys on X, the poll question of the show. The Dodgers Dugout Live poll question today is, who has been the Dodgers MVP so far? I am shocked. I am shocked by the results. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by these results, because 27% of you say Shohei Ohtani, while 58% of you say Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Yamamania, while 15% say Freddie Freeman. They're all MVPs. They're all elite players, but where would this team be without Yamamoto? But there's so much to get into, guys, in the world of Dodger baseball, so let's get right into it with the leadoff.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so the hottest story in Dodger baseball is Chris Taylor has signed with the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, of California, of United States, of Earth, of Galaxy Universe, whatever they're called these days. And he had his first game yesterday. He was batting 8th, wearing number 33, starting in center field, and he went CT 0 for 3 yesterday. Pretty sure you can guess how that first at-bat went. Unfortunately, he did strike out on a breaking ball down and away, and it's a good opportunity for him. He started just 6 of the Dodgers' 46 games where he's with the team. He played in 28 games this season, batted just 35 times, was hitting 200, and with signing with the Angels, there's 126 days left on the 186-day season. His pro-rated deal with the Halos is worth just south of $515,000. The Dodgers are eating $13.3 million. That includes what's left for this year, plus the $4 million club option in 2026. There's a nice play by CT. Kind of a mixed bag in center field for him yesterday. But I think this is a great thing for him. I mean, you got to feel good about this for Chris Taylor. This is a guy that was a reclamation project that the Dodgers turned into an all-star, a multi-time World Series champion. He just was not playing. I asked Dave Roberts about it last week. He told me that it was a tough conversation with Chris. He handled it well, but he wanted to play more. Now he gets the best of both worlds. Gets to stay in Southern California. Dude loves to surf. Dude loves to drink beer. Dude loves to play baseball. Stays in SoCal, gets to play every day, and it's a great opportunity for him. And here's what he said about signing with the Angels and the experience of being with the Dodgers in the last couple of weeks and how tough that was for him.
I'm excited to stay home. I get to live at home. I know the Angels have been playing really good baseball, so I'm excited to join the team and hopefully get on the field. that was one thing with the Dodgers this year. Just my role, I wasn't getting on the field that much, so I'm really just looking forward to like getting consistent at-bats and playing time.
Kenley was really excited to see you here. How much does it help having a familiar face like him in the clubhouse?
Yeah, Kenley and TA, those guys were with the Dodgers with me, so it's always nice having guys you've played with, and I know a few of these guys, so it's good to have familiar faces, especially when you're trying to get acclimated.
So there you go. That's it. I'm done with Chris Taylor talk. I have talked about it enough on this show. I know he's a very popular player. It doesn't bother me in any way, shape, or form that he's with the Angels. I know some people think it's a bad thing. And look, yeah, I get it for sure. The Angels, a little weird. It does almost kind of feel like you break up with a girl and you know that you weren't meant to be with each other. It wasn't a toxic breakup or anything like that. It was pretty amicable. But then it gets weird when you see that she's dating a roommate, right? Almost kind of feels like that, but who cares? Let him do his thing. Another quick one before we get into the big takeaways is the Dodgers win yesterday. They're now 4-3 in this stretch of 29 games against above 500 opponents. And it is going to be a gauntlet. I've told you that if you just finish a couple games above 500 in this 29 game stretch, then you're going to be feeling just fine. There's no doubt about that if the Dodgers just maintain right now they're 33-21, 2 games up of the San Diego Padres in the National League West. And yes, they haven't played their best baseball. Yes, they've dealt with a ton of injuries on the pitching side, but still you're looking at a Dodgers team that right now they're on pace to win 99 games. And if you can make it through this stretch with 17, 18 wins, even if it's 15 wins in this stretch of 29 games against above 500 competition, then you have the easiest schedule down the stretch, and then you can pile on those wins in another Dodgers summer, and you're feeling really good about that. So right now, it's just about maintaining, and they've done that. You lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets, but you took 2 of 3 from the Diamondbacks before that, and you win the first one against the Guardians. So right now you're on pace where you need to be, and you just have to get through this. You have to get through this stretch. You got 2 more against the Guardians, and then a day off on Thursday, and then you face the New York Yankees in a rematch of the 2024 World Series, a 3-game series that starts this Friday, and then you get the Mets again. So 4-game set against the Mets Monday through Thursday next week. Then you go on the road to take on the Cardinals and the Padres in a 6-game roadie, a day off on Thursday, the 12th of June. Then it's the Giants. Then it's the Padres for 4 at home. Then it's the Nationals for 4 at home as well. And then you got the Rockies on the road, the Royals on the road. It starts to lighten up. So right now, just get through this stretch, and you're going to be just fine. Now, the Dodgers are getting through this stretch, though, by being creative with the pitching. We saw them bring up Bobby Miller, cover some innings because Matt Sauer had to go, because you had a rain delay on Friday that compromised the starting pitcher. Clayton Kershaw was only able to go 2 innings. So you had to tax that bullpen, a 13-inning game. Luis Garcia, he gets it done in the end. But the Dodgers did make an addition. And look, it's always exciting when you sign someone, when you add someone, because you don't know what it can be. Can it be a Ryan Brazier? Can it be a Chris Martin? Can it be a pitcher? And of course, Chris Martin you got in that Zach McKinstry deal, but can it be kind of a guy that's a little under the radar that turns out to be a dude? Evan Phillips, right? I think Lou Trevino is certainly showing some promise early on. With the Dodgers, they did sign right-handed pitcher Chris Stratton. He was released by the Royals last Thursday, had a 7.94 ERA, a 4.74 expected ERA, and 12 appearances with KC, 16 punchies, 8 walks, and 17 innings. Hasn't pitched in a big league game since May 16th, and this is his 10th season. He's 34. He's a veteran. He's pitched for the Giants, the Angels, the Pirates, the Cardinals, the Rangers, and the Royals, and he'll be the 28th pitcher pitching for the Dodgers this season when he gets his opportunity, if he gets his opportunity. And they already lead all of Major League Baseball with the most pitchers used so far to start this season. And that's what they are going to do. They are using these guys as disposable pitchers to make it through this rough stretch waiting for guys to get back and get healthy. We got a concerning injury update we'll get into a little later. Hopefully Chris Stratton can be a guy that can be serviceable. I'm not expecting a ton. I don't think that there's this massive change like we saw with Lou Trevino as a guy has a little more upside. But I still think that he's an interesting guy to bring in just because he's a veteran. He's been around. And to make room on the 40-man roster, the Dodgers DFA'd JP Fireeisen. They had claimed him off waivers back on May 1st from the Diamondbacks. He got into 2 games in a couple of his big league call-ups. He allowed 4 runs, 3 earned, 8 hits in 2 innings, had 2 strikeouts. So, look, they're doing the roster churn. It happens every single year at this point. We've seen it with Sauer. We've seen it with Garcia. And here is what Stratton said about joining the Dodgers and what he's hoping to accomplish with his new team.
I mean, you just see him from across, drafted by the Giants, and you kind of learn to hate them, so it's definitely a little bit of a change of pace, but you could always respect them and kind of see how they go about their business. And I mean, just all the things that you've heard about them as an organization just so far has been true and first class and everything. So I'm excited to get to work with a lot of the pitching gurus, as you say, and kind of see what their brains have, and just want to be a sponge here and see what I can learn. I think right now, honestly, just going out there, and we'll, get a couple outings under me before they try to tweak anything, which I always respect. But I just want them to be an open book with me because I want to be an open book with them and kind of be a two-way street. So I'm interested to have some conversations today and kind of see what they have. It's been a little hectic for sure. Wife and 3 kids, they're in KC with me the whole time. So kids loved it. We got to do a lot of things together and hang out, and my wife enjoyed having me home. And to be honest with you, it was kind of nice, seeing that other side, but just kind of feel like I have a little bit left in the tank. So like I said, just glad that they're allowing me to continue, and can't wait to see them when they get out to LA.
So it's such an interesting feeling. It almost feels like these guys every year are used as if they're extras in a movie, right? They're in a couple scenes, you see them in the background, then you kind of forget about them and you forget they were ever in the movie. Hopefully these guys, though, can be more than just that extra, right? They can find a way to get a more prominent role, and certainly they'll get their opportunity. But let's read some comments, and then coming up, I have a lot of thoughts about Conforto and Muncy and Teoscar Hernandez's defense and Yamamoto and Ohtani. Lots of stuff happened in the world of Dodger baseball. I want to read some, though, before we go to the break here. By the way, we got producer Noel rocking with us. He's looking for your comments of the show. He's looking for your questions for the 7th inning stretch. We'll check in with him in a second here. We got Chorizo Smuggler D-Mac. Can I get a bruh? My girlfriend said she'll dump me for Anthony Bonda. No, I'm gonna give your girl a fire take for that. Forget that. It's a fire take. No, hey, Anthony Bonda, he does have a really nice slide piece. He's a happily married man. So here we go. Here's your bruh. Eduardo Fernandez, just mess you. Zachary S. Brennan, Shohei shouldn't be in the top 3 for MVP consideration on this team. Bruh. Explain. If you're gonna drop something as asinine as that, at least provide some type of argument there that would explain why the player that leads all of Major League Baseball in home runs, why the player that leads the Dodgers in total WAR at 2.7 does not deserve to be in the MVP conversation. Might be a top 5 most insane take I've ever seen in the chat, but all respect. I'm curious to see what you have to say and how long you've been an Angels fan also. Eduardo Fernandez, D-Mac, talking from experience with the ex dating his roommate. Hey, I'll get off. Finish all right. Garrett Lonely, give Yamamoto a little more run support and he'll likely be undefeated. Look, wins and loss stats, that's a team stat. Doesn't reflect how good a pitcher is, but I certainly think that it was great to see him get some run support. We'll talk about him. Coming up next, Camilo Herrera. I'll get to that one too. Lots of great comments down below in the chat. Welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live, #1 Dodgers show and podcast. Coming up next, we got 10 big Dodgers takeaways. We got some injury updates, a player the Dodgers should consider trading for. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here to remind you that if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcast. So if you want to listen to the show in audio form, when you're driving to Dodger Stadium, when you're driving from Dodger Stadium, when you're commuting to work, wherever it is, you definitely want to lock into the podcast. We're going to start featuring some podcast exclusives, interviews. So definitely, even if you do watch the show daily on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast, wherever your podcast. So be sure to do that. It really supports the channel. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. Okay, guys, so yesterday was Memorial Day. I want to give a special thanks to everyone out there that made the ultimate sacrifice, honoring our country, serving this country. Vince Scully always gets me emotional and teared up when you hear his comments about Memorial Day. So yeah, definitely want to salute everyone out there that celebrating Memorial Day. We were not in studio, but on Mondays, typically we do our Dodgers Rewind, 10 big takeaways about the week that was. So let's get into it here on this week's Dodgers Rewind.
Dodgers Rewind, 10 big takeaways.
First big takeaway today is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He deserves to be the co-MVP of this team, along with Shohei Ohtani. I wanted to go extremely bold and say that Yamamoto is the Dodgers MVP, but let's be honest. Freddie Freeman missed significant time, didn't play in 11 games. Mookie Betts was dealing with the stomach issue. The offense hasn't been Mookie Betts MVP caliber this season yet. Teoscar Hernández has missed time. Tommy Edman missed time. To think that Shohei is not an MVP of this team is ridiculous. But where would this team be without Yoshinobu Yamamoto? Where would this team be without a guy that emerged in a rotation that was filled with Cy Young winners, that was filled with high upside elite talent in Roki Sasaki, but it was Yoshinobu Yamamoto that has stepped up and has carried this team. After another great start yesterday against the Guardians, where he was fantastic, once again gave up 2 runs on 3 hits in 6 innings of work, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, had 10 swings and misses. And that's coming off a start against the Arizona Diamondbacks last week, where he was equally, if not more fantastic. He took a no-no into the 7th inning, really his best performance as a Dodger, threw a career-high 110 pitches, had 9 strikeouts, didn't allow a single hit until the 7th inning. He's been great all season long. That's 3 straight quality starts for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. The ERA is down to 1.97. That's second in the National League. And right now, he is right behind Paul Skeens, according to FanDuel, for the favorite to win the National League Cy Young. So he is right up there for the Cy Young in the NL. But I think right now, what we need to see from Yamamoto, we need to see him starting the All-Star game. That is where I'm at with Yamamoto. 2 big things. Co-MVP right now, the Dodgers. Where would they be without him? And he needs to be starting in the All-Star game. He needs to be making that start. He's the best Dodgers starting pitcher in a full regular season since 2021 Buehler. Buehler was great that season, was the Cy Young leader well into August. I think of 2019, Hyunjin Ryu. I think of 2016, 2017, Clayton Kershaw, and then Kersh before that, right? I mean, he is definitely of that caliber. And the most impressive thing for me with Yamamoto is this is a guy that last season, he dealt with a significant injury, missed almost 3 months of time, and he's already had 11 starts this season. Last year, he made 18. He's already had 64 innings this season. Last year, he pitched 90. So you can look at that a couple different ways. Okay, I'm a little concerned now because the innings and the starts are piling up. But I look at that as, no, this is a guy that went through a full major league season. Yes, he was injured a significant amount of that time, but he made his way back, and he was really, really good in the postseason for the Dodgers. And now he has a better understanding of how to take care of his body, how to go through that routine to avoid any major injuries. And that is what he's done for this team. He's put this Dodgers team on his back, and he's carried this staff. He's the clear-cut ace of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he deserves to be starting in the All-Star game. I mean, he has 2 WAR. Ohtani has 2.7. He leads all of Major League Baseball with 5.3 hits per 9. Dudes don't hit him. Dudes just do not hit him. This man is filthy. This man is dirty. I have to hop right into the shower after watching a Yoshinobu Yamamoto start because of how dirty he is on the mound. The dude's filthy. People were arguing with me when I was the very first Dodgers show to say they should sign him back when no one knew who he was. People were telling me that Imanaga was better. I said, no, he's not. He doesn't have that kind of potential, the kind of stuff that Yamamoto has. He's a 3-time Cy Moore winner, Triple Crown winner, absolute elite pitcher in Japan, and you're starting to see that success consistently on a start-by-start basis in the show. He's this week's Sandy Koufax Pitcher of the Week. He's basically won this award all throughout this season, and he's been elite. And here was Dave Roberts talking about the latest gem from Yamamoto.
I thought very good today. I thought the command was really good. Uses pitches really well tonight with the strikeouts early, soft contact. I thought, I don't know if after that play at first base, there was a little hip issue that he felt, and I don't know if that kind of got into the mechanics in that 5th and 6th inning. It just didn't seem as fine. And then for me, I just felt that we pushed him a lot his last outing. And so to kind of not push him to the fullest tonight made sense as he gears up for Sunday.
Is that something you think you're going to have to keep an eye on with him heading into his next start?
I don't think so. He said that afterwards he feels better, but I was wondering if that kind of could have changed his body in that moment in time with his delivery. It was just to get a lead and then to add on and to be able to tack on late and obviously get a great outing from the starter and then to play solid defense and to kind of make it not as an eventful last couple of innings to win a game like this and to look out to tomorrow with Dustin going and having a completely reset bullpen is pretty exciting.
Absolutely. He's been phenomenal. He's been great. And I do want to point out, too, that it's not just been as a pitcher. It's also the defense. Did you see the play that he made on the Wilson bunt in the 3rd? Look at this play here. Wilson bunts up the line. What is Ha-Seong Kim doing? But he picks it up and he tags him. And Dave Roberts did mention the hip a little there, a little issue. Hopefully this is a nothing burger. But look at this guy. Run down the line, bare hand, and make the tag. Question I have is, what the heck was Ha-Seong Kim doing there? Because he needs to be in a better position to make that play. He's trying to charge up the line. But thankfully, Yamamoto finds a way to get that done. And he showed that he's certainly a Gold Glove pitcher defensively as well as a Cy Young pitcher on the mound. So he was fantastic. And I also want to play this. I don't know if you guys saw this, but this needs to be number 1 on the Spotify, Apple charts, the Billboard Hot 100. Have you seen the official Yoshinobu Yamamoto song? I want you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 to 10, what do you give this jam? My man Noel is going to drop it right now. Here we go.
1, 2. Yamamoto Yoshinobu no monomane shiteru Moshinobu. Yamamoto Yoshinobu no monomane shiteru Moshinobu. 山本由伸のモノマネしてるもしのぶ山本由伸のモノマネしてるもしのぶ
Instant classic. That thing's going triple platinum. Noah, who's that? That's the interpreter, right, Noel? I mean, not the impersonator, right?
Yeah, he's the impersonator, bro. I saw it over the weekend. I had to post it on our socials because it was going crazy. That needs to be his official anthem moving forward.
Has to be his anthem. I mean, can you imagine if he had that as his warm-up song?
No,
that would be
also
pretty awesome.
Shout out to Hesong Kim Enjoyer on TikTok. He put together that edit like of all the pitching highlights with it. So
I love that dude. I love that dude, and I love Dodgers Twitter always representing. Okay, next big takeaway though. I got my DFA of the day, and I'm giving it to Josh Reddick. Josh Reddick, you are getting DFA'd, buddy.
DFA of the day.
So let's pull up this tweet from Josh Reddick that is aging like 7-Eleven sushi in the sun. He tweets a couple years back, this was on December 22nd, 2023, after the Dodgers signed Yamamoto. How do you give a guy $325 million without ever throwing a pitch in Major League Baseball? How do you do that? Well, because he was great in Japan. That's the second best league on the planet. And he's been absolutely elite ever since you signed him. He has been everything the Dodgers had hoped he would be, and then some. In the postseason, NLDS Game 5 against the Padres, no runs, 5 innings. World Series Game 2, 6 1/3 innings, gave up 1 run on the Soto home run, but he has been a dominant pitcher that in year 2 is going to win the National League Cy Young. So you get what you paid for. The Dodgers paid for an ace. They paid for a guy that would perform in the postseason, and they paid for a guy that's going to win a Cy Young. Also, the reason why you give $325 million to a pitcher at that age is because you typically can't get guys that are that good at age 25. Typically, starting pitchers, they hit free agency 29, 30, 31, 32, and you pay them $100 to $200 plus million, and you're getting maybe 1-2 of their prime years. Yamamoto, you get his entire prime for that price. And every time I see a tweet like this, you just want to quote tweet pictures of Yamamoto with the World Series trophy. Yamamoto spinning and twirling on the mound after a big strikeout. He has been everything the Dodgers had hoped he would be for $325 million, and that is why you give him that money, because you have faith in your scouting. You have faith in your player development. The Dodgers identified a pitcher that they felt was going to be an ace based on what they saw on the mound from him, based on how his stuff was playing, and they bet on him, and it turns out that they bet on the right guy. Now, Josh Reddick, on the other hand, you guys know my saying, once a Dodger, always a Dodger, unless you're Manny Machado, Alex Verdugo, or Josh Reddick. Only thing Josh Reddick ever did was get the Dodgers Rich Hill. And my question to you was, how do you give a contract to a player that in 2016 hit 258, but then somehow the next year that jumped up to 314, and then the following year it went back down to 242? I wonder why. It's because you were cheating. You were banging trash cans. So Josh Reddick, delete the tweet. He's my DFA of the day.
DFA of the day.
All right. Let's keep it moving here. Lots to get into, guys. Jam-packed episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. What I want to hit next, I want to talk about Michael Conforto. So Michael Conforto, big takeaway on him, he should not be starting every game at this point. Michael Conforto, a $17 million one-year contract. It won't break you. It was worth the risk. It was a contract that the Dodgers felt would pay off because of how much success he had outside of Oracle Park, because of the strong second half that he had, because of how hard he hit the ball. And I'm not ready to completely sell all of my Michael Conforto stock. I'm not. Trust me. Not saying he should be making Dodger dogs or he should just eat his salary and bat decoy in his spot. I'm not saying that, but you have to start considering minimizing his role, because right now he is, by every single statistical metric, one of the least productive hitters in Major League Baseball. And you guys know I bring my facts to the fight. I don't say things unless I can back them up statistically. I'm not one of those shows that just hates on players, is dog on this player, is dog on that player. No, I want Michael Conforto to be great. I hope Michael Conforto goes 4 for 4, 5 for 5 for the next 2 weeks. He looks like a great signing. Why? Because your boy right here said he was going to be an all-star. And I've been eating this L for the last couple of weeks, and it doesn't taste good. Okay? But I will say, who said that? Who was the only guy that said JD Martinez was going to be an all-star a couple years ago? Me. Who's the same guy that said Teoscar Hernández was going to be an all-star before the season last year? Me. So 2 for 3 ain't bad. But yeah, Conforto is not making me look good, because his 162 batting average is 146 out of 146 right now. It's dead last for big league hitters with at least 180 plate appearances. He, by every single statistical measure, is one of the least productive hitters in the sport. He has a 70 weighted runs created plus. That's 130 out of 146. If you look at the WAR numbers overall, defensively, he's been below average. But as far as his overall WAR numbers, he's also right there towards the bottom. 139 out of 146 at minus 0.5. So one thing I'm not worried about is the Dodgers not eventually moving off of Michael Conforto. I mean, their hope is that he can find it in the same way that Andy Pott has found it. But I'm a little tired of hearing the whole he hits the ball hard. Yes, he does hit the ball hard, but I mean, some basketball players, like Jamarcus Russell, threw the ball 60 yards on his knees, right? I mean, just because you do things at an impressive level doesn't mean that they actually bear fruit. Michael Conforto needs to start hitting, or they need to do something that they don't want to do, and that's move off him, right? What must be done eventually should be done immediately. And I think for Conforto, you got to shorten that leash a little bit, and you want to see some other guys in those spots. And I think right now, what kind of blows my mind is, how about guys like, you had Kike Hernandez, for example. You got to back Conforto for Kike, like we saw in the Mets series. You have Hesson Kim. You can go deeper than that. Ryan Ward, Esteury Ruiz at the minor league level. So they're hoping the bat wakes up, but I think that, look, I hear you guys out there. Michael 0 for 4 toe, right? The con, this has been the punching bag. And I think that for me, he has got to produce in the next couple of weeks to make you feel good about the possibility, because I don't think there's any doubt about it. We saw with Jason Hayward. We saw with Noah Syndergaard. We saw with a lot of these guys on one-year deals. If you don't produce, they're not afraid to eat that money. They're not afraid to do that. But, I mean, a 220 expected batting average. His expected slug around 367. I mean, you look at some of the advanced stuff. I mean, the hard hit rate is in the 70th percentile, and it's definitely okay. But I'm starting to lose hope on Michael Conforto. I'm starting to lose hope, and I think that it has to start minimizing his role. That brings me to Max Muncy. So Max Muncy, over the weekend, there was a play, Landon Knack on the mound, first inning, a routine play. Max Muncy was shifted over closer to second base. Juan Soto hits it right to him, and it eats him up. He tries to field it, bounces the throw, and Juan Soto is not a fast runner. He's able to get to first base, and he's safe. And then what happens? Pete Alonso hits a 2-run home run. It wasted what was a quality start for Landon Knack. And for me, when it comes to Max Muncy, it boils down to this. Start hitting, or they're going to start exploring their options. I don't think there's an in-between, because the defense has been down. There's no doubt about that. He's in the 1 percentile, a -7 outs above average defensively. He has not been a good defender. By his own accord, he has not been afraid to say that he hasn't been a good defender this season. He hasn't. And you got to give him credit for saying it and for owning it. And Dave Roberts said that, hey, he knows he can be a good defender and that it's surprising and he's just going to keep working at it. And then Muncy, he said this about his defense after the rough game against the Mets. He said, it's tough. It's one of those things where I'm just really not good defensively right now, not going to shy away from it, but all I can do is keep showing up every day, working on it, trying to figure things out, trying to get better. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to keep doing. If you let it get you down, it's going to keep getting worse. For me, I just got to keep showing up every single day and keep working as hard as I can to figure it out. Keep believing in myself. That I know I can do and be a better defender. I know I haven't shown it, but I know I can be a good defender. And so I got to keep believing in myself and just keep showing up and putting in the work. So got to give him credit for that. Definitely give him credit for owning it and saying that he hasn't been a good defender. But I think that the defense isn't what will lead to the Dodgers exploring options for Max Muncy. It will be eventually the offense. And he has been better last couple of weeks, but still, overall, we are 50 games for his season, 197 plate appearances, hitting .205 with a 91 weighted runs created plus. Has just 3 home runs this season. And I can guarantee you that the Dodgers, they knew, like the Dodgers didn't think he was going to be prime Nolan Arenado at third base. They didn't think that Max Muncy was going to win a platinum glove. But what they did think was that he was going to at least give you the Max Muncy season, which is 25 to 30 plus home runs, 80 plus RBIs, slugging big spots, take some walks. But this year hasn't been that. I mean, in the month of May, hitting .221 with a 709 OPS. So he hasn't hit a home run since you went back-to-back with bombs against the Angels and the A's. So it's concerning as far as the Arenado move, the Ryan McMahon move, the moves they can make. We'll continue to talk about the possibilities. And Arenado's not having a great season offensively. We know that. And he's dealing with a bruised shoulder. But I do think that the longer this goes, there's no way they're going to allow Max Muncy to be a below-average defender and a below-average hitter for the entire season. There's just no way they're going to do that, especially when he's on an expiring contract where he has a $10 million club option. So he's got to step it up defensively, and he's got to step it up at the plate because the warning signs have been put out there. Barnes got DFA'd. Chris Taylor's gone. This Dodgers team is as all in as any team in Major League Baseball, and if they think that they need to upgrade at a position, they're not going to be afraid to do it. Okay. Next big takeaway. Next big takeaway is Andy Pages should be the Dodgers' right fielder. Andy Pages has Gold Glove potential in right field. And I wanted to bring this take after talking about Max Muncy because guess what? Teoscar Hernández, when he boots one, when he doesn't make a great defensive play, you kind of smile a little bit because you know that the next inning he's probably going to come through the runners in scoring position. And you can justify subpar defense with a well above average bat. And that is what Teoscar Hernández does. He is an elite hitter. He is an all-star hitter. He is fantastic with runners in scoring position. Teo this season's hitting .303 with a 151 weighted runs created plus and 10 home runs. He's been great. And the signing was a no-brainer. It's going to be a great signing. He is kind of the heart and soul of this team offensively. I actually believe that. But defensively, his play in right cost Yoshinobu Yamamoto a run yesterday. The Ramirez double, the Manzardo single to right, kind of booted one, just not great crisp defense. Andy Pages could win a Gold Glove in right. Leading Major League Baseball in defensive runs saved. Has an elite arm. I think the play is to put Teo in left and Andy Pages in right, and then center field, you mix guys in, whether that be Hassan Kim, Kike Hernandez, or Tommy Edman, to try to keep him fresh and try to minimize the wear and tear on that ankle. I think that's the move, because when you do that, then you can live with whatever Teo brings you in left. It's not going to be great. We saw him make the great throw against Giancarlo Stanton last year. See, check this play. Kind of doesn't field it right, doesn't take a right angle, ends up at second. It's just little plays like that. I mean, they're not major whiffs or anything like that. It's not Jock Peterson at first base. I can't believe we all lived through that, guys. We all lived through the Jock Peterson at first base experiment. If you're watching this, you lived through the Jock Peterson at first base experiment. It's that, but it's also just the fact that if you put him in left and then you put Conforto to the bench, you make him earn his at-bats, make him earn his spot, and then in center, you have above average defense, and then right, you have above average defense. So you actually improve the quality of the entire outfield because you put Andy Paz in the position that he was born to play. And I think with Teo, you can live with him in left. You just can't if he's going to hit like that. That's a move that I think that I want to see. And yes, Mookie did say on his podcast that part of the reason why he went to shortstop was to open up right field for Teo. And there's some talk that Teo was guaranteed right field when he re-signed here. I haven't heard that. I'm going to try to ask around for that. But I think if the question is what gives the Dodgers the best outfield defense, it's not Teo in right, it's Teo in left. It's Pages in right, and it's mixing things up in center field. Okay, that brings me to Ha-Seong Kim. So Ha-Seong Kim, the playing time has gone down a little bit. I think defensively, he's still getting used to his teammates in Major League Baseball. He's made some questionable plays in center, took a crazy J route a couple weeks ago in Miami. You saw he didn't call off Teo on one where it's his ball right there. He's got to be the leader of the outfield. And then yesterday, he doesn't cover first. He doesn't make the right play there on the bunt from Wilson. I think Ha-Seong Kim is firmly in the prove you belong stage of my 5 stages of a big leaguer, right? The boyhood dream, the childhood dream has been realized, and that is play big league baseball, but he's got to prove he belongs. And I certainly think that he has the potential to, and that when he's in the lineup, there's certainly a spark in that Dodgers lineup. But what I always tell you, let's watch what the Dodgers do as far as his opportunities. And over the week, you've seen him get 10 plate appearances, 10 at-bats, and he's gotten 1 hit. And it was the hit against the Mets on the Friday win. So we got to see, can the bat continue to play? I mean, so far it's a good start, right? 15 of 41, hitting 366. But I want to see more of a sample size from Ha-Seong Kim. My big takeaway is, hey, if you're going to have him up, play him, because we need to see what he is. And we need him to learn from mistakes. And I think that's the best thing for him. And tonight, the lineup just released a couple minutes ago. Ohtani leading off, Betts at short, second. Freeman batting third at first. Teo's batting cleanup and right. Muncy batting fifth at third. Paz in center, batting sixth. Conforto in left, rushing in behind the dish. And Edman at second, batting ninth. So they got Edman bottom of the lineup at second, and then May on the bump. So no Kim tonight. But if we want to see Ha-Seong Kim be Ha-Seong him, he's got to get more opportunities. And I think that we are firmly in the prove you belong stage. He's got to prove he belongs, and he does that by continuing to hit and being the defender that he has been billed to be. And that's a versatile defender that is plus at multiple positions. So need to see more from Ha-Seong Kim and want to see more from Ha-Seong Kim. Okay, couple of quick ones. Emmett Sheehan, he had his first rehab assignment, goes 2 innings, allowed no runs, no hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks, 29 pitches, 24 strikes. I think Emmett Sheehan is going to be a huge, huge boost to this team. I think that he has the potential to give you that hybrid starter, but they can give you a 6-man-ish rotation when everyone's healthy. And you look at October, I think he's going to factor in. I think the four-seam fastball is so explosive. I think Emmett Sheehan, who Dave said is his pick to click, I think is a big X factor. So good to see him get his first appearance. Then let's talk about Shohei Ohtani. And that was the big talk yesterday in New York. Shohei was on the mound. He threw 22 pitches, 5 simulated plate appearances. He got his first look on how he looks against hitters. And your first look at him as a Dodger on the mound throwing to hitters. So he threw fastballs, cutters, sinkers, threw some sweepers, threw some splitters. The fastball was sitting at 94, 95. He touched 97 at one point. He said to reporters after, he said, I'm aware that I do throw a little harder when there is a hitter in the box. I try to keep it 93, 94, but I know I was touching 6s and 7s, which I wanted not to do, but it's still a good sign that I could hit that. He also said, I haven't thrown in a while, so it was nice to be able to feel like it was a pitcher. I just kind of remembered those days when I used to have a lot of good memories as a pitcher. So as far as how things played out, he faced Dalton Rushing, Hassan Kim. He faced the Dodgers game planning coach, JT Watkins, who was a former player back in 2016. He struck him out once, and he also walked. And it was hilarious. JT Watkins did the bat flip there, so that was hilarious to see. A nice light moment. Also, when Kim hit the comebacker, you saw Shohei kind of mimicking it, and then Kim also hit a clean hot shot double, and he yelled to Teoscar Hernández if he thought that he would have been able to get that. So he was having fun with it, but he was also getting some work done. Mark Pryor said after, he looks good. He looks healthy. That's always the main thing with facing hitters, that he feels confident. His endurance is good. He maintained his stuff. From that standpoint, it was good. Pitch movement-wise, it looked good too. So the next step is, how does he feel today? How does he feel coming out of it? And that's going to determine the next step, because the plan right now is for him to face hitters once a week as he progresses towards hitting. Dave Roberts said if it kind of works out as it should, he's a top-end starter. So that's kind of our expectations, and that we'll see him after the All-Star break. So the dude who just hit a bomb on the first pitch yesterday that leads Major League Baseball at 19 jacks, the dude who's rehabbing from Tommy John surgery, his second major arm surgery, is going to be pitching very soon. It is going to be must-see TV, and the good thing is he checked off a major box. Okay, couple other quick ones here. A concern for Evan Phillips. Dave Roberts said it's starting to get a little concerning. I don't know how long we can give it until he can attempt to start playing catch again. I'm getting a little concerned, but hoping for the best. So Phillips did get a PRP injection earlier in the month of May. He's got a pain that's just continuing to persist. He hasn't been able to pick up a baseball and resume baseball activities. So it's concerning. And he's gone 5 2/3 innings of scoreless ball this season. But I am definitely starting to get worried. My concern level on a scale of 1 to 10 is up to a 7.9 at this point. I really do, because it makes you wonder if they're going to get him back. And it makes you look at this bullpen, right? Tanner Scott, he's blown 4 saves this year, blew just 2 last year. He has to be that guy, but no Kopech. Kopech had another positive appearance. You're going to see a couple more from him, and he'll be back. No Blake Trinan, no Evan Phillips, no Brusdar Graterol. I think the Dodgers are going to have to trade for a reliever. And we've talked about Ryan Helsley on this show. And my next big takeaway, the Dodgers are going to be in the market for a reliever. I feel like they are. We'll dive deep into these guys the next couple of weeks. Helsley's not having a great year, but the fact that he's a straight rental, the Cardinals, they owed him $8.2 million heading into this season. That'll be prorated. And he has been one of the better relievers in the sport last couple of seasons. So if they're going to blow it up, which they're in second place in the NL Central, no indication right now that they are, he's the name to keep your eye on for sure. Because the Dodgers don't get him, the Phillies might. And the Phillies are the Dodgers' competition right now. All right, guys, so those are the 10 big takeaways for last week. But now it's your time to shine. We're going to give out a comment of the show next, too, on the 7th inning stretch.
The 7th inning stretch.
All right, let's hit it. iSurf Nerd, Pa says Teo's Padawan was the best thing to happen in a while. Dodgers Nation. Doug, need to hear that Yoda voice again.
Pass.
Can't do it today. You guys are making me laugh.
Dodgers win today first Guardians.
But yeah, I'll give you a little home run right there. Give you a let's go Dodgers. All right, there we go. Keith Potter, I really wanted Jock to pan out at first base. BC, Teo's having a career year. He should be batting higher than Mookie, 908 versus 752. Interesting take right there. 818 LA Raika, the Yoshi song. Please play it again. Yeah, we're gonna see if we get the rights to that. We need to contact him, Noel. We need to get the rights to that. And if we do, it'd be cool to continue to play it on this show for sure. Be pretty awesome. We got Nando 390 Drake trying to sample that Yamamoto beat now. Yeah, interesting for sure. By the way, I was at the Kendrick concert on Friday and I saw a couple of you guys there. I couldn't go anywhere. I'm not gonna lie, I was wearing the Dodgers Murakami stuff, so I was kind of asking for it. I saw so much Dodger gear there. Thought that was really cool. David Brown, I love Muncy, but it's time to move forward. Gus L. Freddie Freeman is the real MVP. His bat is consistent. He's fantastic for sure. Nando 390, what's Bobby Miller's role or future role? He's getting traded. It's interesting. We mentioned the Cardinals. The Cardinals have shown interest in Bobby Miller. He wasn't terrible in his appearance. I mean, I think for him to come up as a much-needed fresh arm, it was good to see him go out there and kind of do something positive. He went 2 innings, gave up 1 run on 3 hits, no strikeouts. But, I mean, he's got to feel good that, it wasn't the 6 runs that we saw him give up against the Rockies in his only other start of the 2025 season. So let's see some more. We've got D-Mac. Is that the new Dodgers Nation intro? LOL. We got to see if we can get the rights, man. LSU Jones, D-Mac, I love the Dodgers Chevrolet commercial you posted. Yeah, that was Noel who posted that, and that was pretty awesome to see. What was the reaction for that, Noel? People going crazy.
People are going crazy, man. Chevy does a great job of marketing. It's actually one right near my house that's been there for a while, and I think they worked with Oscar De La Hoya for a long, long time. So they're really clever with their marketing game. Banda getting Teo and the girls doing the little Shohei dance.
That was pretty awesome. That was pretty cool to see. I just got to know if the players are really driving Chevrolets. You know what I mean? Don't do a Chevrolet commercial and then roll up in a Beamer or a Benz. It's like when Tiger Woods was doing the Buick commercials. He was not stepping foot in a Buick, man. But really awesome stuff. And shout out to Chevrolet. One of my third car was actually a Chevrolet Cruze. That Chevy Cruze was pretty sick. We got DE Abstract. Still can come back. Ozzy says, D-Mac, Yamamoto is Yamamojo. Roy Estrada, we need another good game from May. Leadoff home run from Ohtani. D-Mac, this is from Elishiva Jones. Bring back the turtleneck guy, Honeywell, for reliever. We got virtual. Anytime May starts, it makes me a little nervous. Feels like you never know what you're going to get. Yeah, he's a little bit Mario Kart item box vibes for Dustin May, but he had his best start, honestly, possibly of his career. The last time we saw him last Wednesday against the Diamondbacks, went 6 innings, gave up 1 run on 5 hits, had 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. The movement was there on the sweeper. So I'm really encouraged and excited to see Dustin May if he can build on his start. Tonight he's going against Tanner Bibby, and it's a good opportunity. Bibby's not bad. Sub-4 ERA, 3.57 ERA. It's going to be a challenge for the Dodgers. The Guardians looking to even the series tonight. Hot take, this is from iSurf Nerd. Hot take, Mariachi Joe, greater than sign, great Knack. One's a starter, one's a reliever that hasn't pitched this year. Landon Knack, to say that after Landon Knack's coming off really one of his best appearances of his career is a little surprising. Knack literally gave up 1 earned run in his last start against the Mets and went 6 innings. If it weren't for Max Muncy's defense, if it weren't for that defense by Max Muncy, that's probably going down as the best start of Landon Knack's career. I'll take Landon Knack over Mariachi Joe right now. I got to be honest with you guys. R. Samora, I'm still waiting for the D-Mac bobblehead. What are you talking about? The D-Mac bobblehead's right here. Check it out. This is the D-Mac bobblehead. I got the Smitty bobble. For sure. We've got D-Mac if you're riding okay, Mr. Classic. Come on now. I got to read it because D-Mac, if you're riding in a Chevy and you feel something heavy, diarrhea. Come on, man. Bruh. You're getting a bruh there. Come on. We've got some more here. D-Mac, you're awesome and you're my hero. Your Dodger content is great. Thanks, Jason. You're the man. I appreciate that. Lee, by the way, what is this? Horse S, I hear about a blockbuster trade with Houston for Altuve. Some moron is trying to pass this along. I'll have to look into that. Jeff Passan was in my dream last night, so I'm already getting trade rumor vibes for sure. Nando 390. D-Mac was driving around in a Miata or an Eclipse back in the day. It's actually a Celica. I'm still waiting for, okay, let's do some more here. Mr. Classic, D-Mac, Dustin May better pitch like Corbin Burns today. I'm expecting a good start from him. I really am. Ellis Shiva Jones. D-Mac, will anyone sign Austin Barnes? Angels? Yeah, no update on the Austin Barnes front. So we'll wait to see. It's been quite some time. He hasn't got on with another team yet. So hopefully we'll get some news about Austin Barnes. We'll try to do some digging for that for sure. But yep, guys, that's the 7th inning stretch today. Fire away down below in the comments. Actually, let's read some more of these here. Jerry says, thanks, D-Mac, for being our therapist. We're like co-therapists. You guys are mine too. Keith Potter, D-Mac, how do the Dodgers stretch out Ohtani? We can afford to lose his bat in the lineup for rehab starts in the minors, or is Ohtani going to be the closer? So he's going to be a starter. They're going to stretch him out to give you 6 innings, hopefully give you 10-plus starts and be ready for the postseason. But it doesn't make sense to have him as a bullpen piece at all. You have to make sure that he's a starter and that he is able to juggle both roles for this team. Master Blaster, Shohei is Batman, Kim is Robin. If Roberts decides to move Kim in the outfield, Roberts is damaging his abilities and skills at second base. Roberts screwed Miguel Vargas. Oh, yeah, by the way, Miggy Varg, 17% above league average offensively. Just saying. Maximus and V, that relatively new DH rule is still in effect. When he's done pitching, he can remain at DH. Yeah, I mean, it's the Shohei Ohtani rule. They revised it this season where he doesn't have to qualify again. He's going to step right in, and you're going to get that added bonus of having him pitch. And essentially, you have 14 pitchers on your roster, and he doesn't have to deplete the bullpen in any way, shape, or form for sure. Okay, Alex says, D-Mac, let's ride this shit with Muncy the rest of the season. They might do that. I mean, the more he produces offensively, the more time he buys himself. And I do think that for sure I believe in Max Muncy. I really do. I think that he's been an underrated Dodger. When you look at a guy who's top 10 in home runs, a guy that's had some big hits for this team, a guy that's been big in the clubhouse, I want to see it work out. I want to see him pick it up offensively, get back to being better and making the routines defensively, but only time will tell. And I think that you got to feel good about knowing this organization is not going to make emotional decisions based on what a player has done for them. They're going to focus on what they can do for them in the future, not the past, but the present and the future. But all right, guys, running out of time, so let's finish it off with the walk-off.
The walk-off.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about Freddie Freeman. So Freddie Freeman, him and his wife, Chelsea, they are philanthropic. They are generous. They do a lot of great things for the community, and they are donating $1 million to the CHOC Children's Hospital of Orange County after everything they did for their family. And last year, it was quite a story. His son, 3-year-old son, Maximus, he was hospitalized, and it was a big, big deal. I mean, incubator and just a very tough situation. And thankfully, he's recovered. He's doing great. And this was an awesome gesture by them. It was really, really cool. Freddie told ESPN, seeing every room filled in the PICU each and every day impacted Chelsea and I deeply. Getting to know the doctors, nurses, and care teams and seeing how they showed up every day, bringing healing and hope to kids and their families was inspiring. So, yeah, I mean, it was a scary thing. I mean, he had paralysis, his son Maximus, and it went all the way up to his shoulders. They took him to the emergency room. He was on a ventilator, he was on feeding tubes, and then a couple of days he was able to recover, but a very, very scary situation for the Freeman family, and it's great to see that he is doing great, and this donation is extremely generous for incredible, incredible guy. Now, Freddie would go on to hit the home run, the walk-off grand slam against Nestor Cortez in Game 1 of the World Series. First walk-off grand slam in World Series history. And he did say that he mentioned a story at a luncheon where a father came up to him and thanked him because there was a Dodgers fan there that night sitting in the pavilion, and he said that for whatever reason that night, he decided not to drink because he wanted to enjoy the night with his family. And after that home run, he was so inspired that he quit drinking. And it was a really powerful moment. I mean, the World Series Grand Slam helped a father quit drinking, and we're actually working on a special opportunity that we would like to include this father in. It's a great opportunity. If you want to privately DM me on Twitter or any of the Dodgers Nation accounts, go at DMAC_LA to the DMs. You can email us. If you can find some way to put me in contact with this father, we have a very special opportunity for him. Would really, really appreciate that. Understand it's a sensitive issue, a private issue. But if you do know this man, this gentleman, please put me in contact. You can find me at DMAC_LA. So I'll leave some info down below in the comments as well. But all right, guys, a super chat on the way out. JRW fan, $5. Kike with only 4 starts in 6 games at third base is 9th in Major League Baseball at third base, and D-War ahead of Nolan Arenado. Kike's been great this year. He really has. He's been awesome in his role. I love Kike behind the batting cage, too, looking at Shohei Ohtani like a little kid, and then he tried to give him his pitcher's helmet. Classic Kike. But that is going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. See you guys after the game, post-game show, after the Guardians-Dodgers. Early start, 3 o'clock in LA, around 3 today. So be watching at work just like you're watching this show. So we'll see you guys a little later. We'll be back tomorrow for Dodgers Dugout Live. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and remember, nothing, absolutely nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.